So, sipping water. And we are ready to go. Wednesday today.
Yeah, day
Sunday
early.
if you're listening on the podcast.
Yeah, for the Facebook Live viewers, we are a day early.
Why are we a day early?
Because we are going to Barcelona this weekend, aren't we? We are going to Spannabis, big hydroponic growth show in Barcelona, Spain. And we will be away for the weekend. So we are getting everything out the way right now.
Who's going a day early though?
Hey,
who decided that it would be a good business idea for somebody to go and scout the area and make sure that there's no hoodlums around and make sure it's all safe for the NPK team to land?
Me, of course. And also, I've got to take upon receipt of the 3 bottles of champagne upon the yacht that we're all staying on.
It's ridiculous, this.
I just got to make sure it's nice and cold.
You make sure it's nice and cold. There's a fridge there.
For all use when you get there a day later.
And we're going to put up on Instagram later a picture of where we're staying.
Yes, we are.
Don't release it just yet.
It's also going to be we're doing a lot of live show and tell stuff while we're away.
Yeah.
So everyone, please.
There's going to be a social media weekend extravaganza.
Yeah, at Spannabis in Barcelona.
Spannabis, where we get to talk about cannabis.
Yeah. Yes.
And we can smoke in Barcelona because it's all legit.
Yes.
And it's going to be a lot of fun,
yeah.
as it is always every year.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. So
look what I'm doing
on your new chairs.
On my new chairs,
yeah.
Swinging.
Yeah. Well,
if I didn't have my earphones connected in, I could swing all the way around and show you how it really works.
Well, you can actually see the video of Stephen installing the chairs into the booth.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun
on NPK Hydroponics Live, which was rather interesting.
You've gone a bit crazy on the live, haven't you? I think, am I regretting showing you how to use
social media? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
There's like daily videos.
You've given me access to this stuff. And it's just funny stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's going on, homies? You're listening to NPK Live, the Hydroponics Podcast. You're listening to NPK Live. To all the listeners around the world, you're listening to NPK Live.
Well, so today it's podcast 105 with myself, Thomas.
And myself, as always, Stephen.
And today's podcast is the 10 Grow Commandments.
10 Grow Commandments. So what do you mean by Grow Commandments? This is your podcast, remember?
Yeah. These are the be-all and end-all, in my eyes, in my opinion, to the 10 most crucial things that should be adhered to whilst being a grower.
Okay, so after we've spoken about what these 10 Grow Commandments are, should I write a blog and put it up onto the NPK Hydroponics Live page for people to print out and stick into their room?
Yeah, or they could,
because they are that important.
Or they could may think they want to print them out and throw them in the bin and use them as paper basketballs.
Shooting practice.
Who knows? Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
And see what we've got to come up with.
Cool. So, we started off, didn't we? We talked about the title of the podcast, 10 Grow Commandments, and we started off with the 10 things were going to be a plant, light, media, nutrients.
Yeah.
But then it turned into, like, we
looked at it.
It
started getting quite difficult, didn't it?
Yeah.
When we sat down and thought about this one.
Because they're not commandments. We're not commanding you to get a plant. We're not commanding you to get a light.
We're not commanding you to do anything. What we're saying is this list of 10 things is the 10 most vital things for a plant to survive and develop and flourish. Yeah, well and truly in the best possible way it can. So we've come up with this list, which was a bit harder than what I thought it would be, to be honest with you.
Because there's things that we've missed out. Obviously, there's lots of things that we've missed out.
Yeah, but then we was thinking, these 10 grow commandments, what's the most crucial things to growing? So here we go, and this is what we think, and this is what we've come up with. Pass that list over. Take these glasses off a second. Can't bloody see a thing with them on. I'm only joking, I can really see. Also, pass the translation book for your writing. When you
They were scribbled very quickly.
Is this shorthand? Is this shorthand? Yeah.
Well, I was going to print them off this morning, and you rang me saying, "Oh," and what that translates into Thomas's angry voices. I need you over into Morton because we've got some shit to do.
We've got some shit to do,
I
man.
didn't have time to print them off, so unfortunately, you have to read my
Chicken scratches.
Yeah.
And the first one, top one, which I love, commandment is
commandment number 1.
temperature.
Yes. It's your podcast. I'll let you roll with it. Read more of my writing.
That's what I'm struggling
That's
with.
the task for this
Yeah.
week. That's my task for you.
I look and so you can see there. Look at that, the kip of that. We are. I hope you do know though. At NPK, I am an equal opportunities employer, so I do and look after the less able-bodied of staff.
I'm here to look after you, old timer.
Next week's podcast, how to write. So, temperature. We've got it right up there. To be honest, I'm not going to give them numbers 1 to 10. I'm just going to say that the 10 grow commandments. I'm not going to say that they're actually in the order.
No, yeah.
Because I believe they're all equally as important as one another, and they all coincide.
Important.
Yes, and they coincide. Perfect equilibrium, harmony of one another. So the first one in there is temperature. You've put some notes on here saying will not go above 28 degrees ever.
So commandment number 1 is don't let that temperature go above 28 degrees Celsius.
You've also put unless CO2 is present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when we have a high CO2 environment, whether you're using, pretty much it's only when you're using the bottled canisters of CO2, and you go above 800 and 1,000 parts per million of CO2, the plants can deal with higher temperatures, and what you're going to do is metabolism is going to increase, so a higher temperature is needed when you use high CO2.
You've also put on here will not drop more than 5 degrees during the night cycle.
Yeah. So if your daytime temperature with your lights
I
on,
would have said 10 degrees.
Yeah, because you're right as well. But if I say 5 degrees, so with the temperatures being with the lights on at 26 degrees Celsius, and then a 5 degree drop at night is 21, then if it gets to 20 or 19, that's still okay. But I thought if we say you're allowed a 10 degree swap and people had 11 and 12 degree swap. Right, can you hear it? There we go. We're on mute. Oh no, we're not. There we go. I just like hearing our voices.
I can see the way I could hear that though.
Yeah. Ears like a bat.
Look at them. Big bat ears.
Yeah. Is that why you had such a cob on when we were talking about collecting guano?
Because they're part of the family.
So we had a 5. See, if we say a 10 degrees swing in temperatures day and night, people might think it's acceptable to go to. Why not 11? Why not 12? So if you say 5, you're allowed 6 and 7 degree swing. And the reason that that's so important in your temperature is that the bigger the swing in temperature, the bigger the stretch of the plant. So if there's a big swing, you're going to get a lot of stretch. If there's a small swing, you're only going to get a really small stretch.
Well, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to say 28 degrees and 16 degrees. No, 18 degrees. Sorry, my maths is
it's okay.
bloody terrible.
Equal opportunities. You even applied it to yourself.
Yeah, that's for I'm the mathematics category. He's in the English language category. So 28 degrees and 18 degrees. As soon as them temperatures are hit, big alarm siren should be ringing in your brain, because you know there's going to be problems. So, number 1,
keep your temperature in check.
Keep your temperature in check. Number 2, which is, it's hand in hand, equally as important.
Equally important. See, do you like that for dramatic effect?
Which is humidity.
We're going to talk about vapor pressure deficit and...
Yeah, you can talk about that if you wanted to.
Okay.
But I'm just going to talk about number 2 being humidity. And people are thinking, what's humidity? This is this other thing, this other reading that you look at on your little white.
Yeah, the percentage doesn't tell you how good you're doing in your grow room.
Yeah.
Oh, I've only got 30%.
Yeah. 30%, it's a shit day today. Ooh.
Oh, Mum, I got 100%.
Yeah.
Well done, son.
No. This is an indication of your humidity levels throughout your grow period and your flower period. Humidity is vital and has required levels throughout the grow period and required levels throughout the flowering period. These levels must be adhered to. If they're not, you will have problems, issues, plants will not develop accordingly. So, commandment-wise, second is humidity. The key numbers are... Do you want to go through them?
So in veg, or very, very early veg, when you're in seedling stage, we're talking 90%.
Yeah.
So if you go from seed, 90% is really good. Then when you get further into the vegetative cycle, 70% humidity is nice. And then the first 2 weeks of flowering, so what we call a transition period, you're going to want to start working to drop that humidity down. So take it from 70 in the first week of flower, get it to 60. In the second week of flower, get it to 50. With third week flower onwards, you're going to start wanting it to be around 40% humidity. And then I mentioned vapor pressure deficit, and it's something that if you understand humidity and you're already well on the ball with humidity, and start looking into the relationship between temperature and humidity. So we have a vapor pressure deficit, which is essentially, in a nutshell, if a room outside is really dry, then the vapor deficit.
The what?
I've got it mixed up.
The vapor deficit. The what? The vapor pressure deficit.
Vapor pressure deficit.
Vapor.
Go on, smart ass.
The vapor
Pressure deficit. Say dead quick.
The vapor pressure deficit.
Yeah, okay. VPD. Yeah. So if it's really dry in a room, the vapor pressure deficit is going to be high, and if it's similar to a plant, it's going to be low. If it's the humidity's high.
So what's that mean in like normal words?
So it means that the drier the room, the quicker that the plant is going to lose water to the outside environment, and the more it will need to be watered and kept in check. And the higher the
So is
humidity,
that like sweating?
Yeah, like sweating. Okay, so good analogy. Have you ever been to a hot country where it's really hot, but it doesn't feel hot? It's lovely. It's 35 degrees, and you just walk around. Everything's great. Have you ever been to a hot country where it's equally hot, but it just feels sticky and horrible, and you just can't get cool no matter what you do? Well, in a hot country with high humidity, you can't sweat, you can't cool down.
Well, I have been to Wales a few times on holiday. Like.
No, that's just rain. That's not humidity. That's just piss and rain. And the hot country where it's hot and it's nice. Sometimes in Britain it happens when it's hot, it usually goes quite dry. You feel like you can stay out in it forever because the humidity is quite low. You sweat, you lose it to the environment, it cools you down, and everybody's happy. So it's just the same for plants as well. And if people want to get right into the humidity issues and the relationship with temperature, look into VPD, vapor pressure deficit. You'll be able to go down Alice in Wonderland's hole of humidity on that one.
Well, I'm going to let you have a little go.
Oh, thank you. What is the next one?
Watering.
Okay. So, rule.
I
was going to say contract number 3 then.
Contract number 3.
Commandment number 3 is watering. Your watering will be plant focused. It will not be grower led, it will not be media led, and it will not be pot size led. And what I mean by that is you water your plants according to how much your plant will drink. Top feed or bottom feed.
Yeah, but I'll just put a litre in every day.
Well, how much water have you drunk since you've been in here?
None past that bottle.
This is my bottle. My growers give me the water that I required, and your grower has left you without any water.
Please, please.
Just when I needed it as well. That's lovely. My grower looked after me. He made sure there was enough water for the time that he was away. Your grower left you alone. How are you feeling?
I've got dry mouth.
How are you feeling that no one's left you any water either? Feel a bit pissed off?
Not too good, like.
So you reverted to bad things.
But I'll be okay, I'll survive.
You will, but you're not very happy. Here, the better grower, a friend has come along and said, your plant needs a little bit of water, it's looking stressed. There you go. So he opens the cap carefully, takes a sip of the lovely water. You can see the vitality returning back to the face of Thomas.
Feel revitalised after that.
Look at the colours come back to your skin.
I've just nearly burnt myself as well.
Did you? Oh, you dropped the lid. No, it's okay.
Yeah, I dropped it.
How are you feeling?
I feel amazing.
Really?
I feel ready for this podcast ahead now.
Okay, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
The colours come back to your skin. You're looking very green.
So what are we saying? Watering. It's
important.
Very, very important. Water is important, but equally with water becomes nutrient. So you have water. You have water and you've got nutrients. Now the plant requires both. It requires both of them at the same time sometimes, but
Could that be commandment number 8 though?
Yes.
Don't stray too far.
I know,
too quickly.
But I don't want people jumping on the seat going, "Oh, but yeah."
What about nutrients?
Yeah, nutrients.
What about its food? Remember, it's not food.
So water, plants like water.
They do, and be plant focused. So if you've got a tiny 10 centimetre plant in a 50-litre pot full of cocoa, what people love to do is they love to feed all that cocoa, 50 litres of cocoa with water, and they forget that the plant's only a young toddler.
What you're doing is you're feeding the cocoa. You're watering your cocoa. You don't water your plant because your plant can't take that much water, nutrient, whatever you put in it. So basically, you've got this large sponge so saturated in water, and got this small plant trying to take on this massive task of trying to dissipate all this excess water. It's not going to happen. Plants start yellowing off and whatever, and becoming really horrible and unhappy. So watering.
Let's just stop there. There's 2 people saying can't hear that well.
Oh.
Wait 3 seconds to speak Makey, and then he will adjust those sounds so that it all comes through nice and loud for you all. We love it when you tell us that you can't hear us very well. Otherwise, we have no idea.
Yeah,
we haven't got a clue,
and we'll just keep talking.
So, yes, and similarly, if you have a really big plant in a small pot, in a 1 litre pot, you tend to just give it water that feeds the cocoa. So you're not giving the plant more than enough. Let us know if we've been turned up as well, because Makey's turned us up in all your ears. So now everyone had the volume on full in work or in the house, and then boom, we sound a lot out there.
Boom.
So yeah, watering. Makey keeps telling me off, and I know I need to speak into the microphone. I do feel as though I'm speaking into the microphone quite a lot. He's getting angry. He's like, speak into the microphone.
You just need to speak into the microphone. That's all you need to do.
I know. Okay. I've learnt my lesson for the next few minutes anyway. You know what else I need to stop doing? Swinging on this chair. I've noticed
and touching my leg. You keep touching my leg.
You love it, really. Okay, watering commandment number 3. Everyone's saying, well, has it got any better now? Has the loudness got any better?
Or is it just these really quiet and can you hear me?
Everyone can hear you. No, you don't need a microphone to hear you.
Oh.
Adam, I'm waiting for you, buddy.
Come on,
can
Adam.
You all hear us?
Give us the feedback.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Nope. Can't hear us very well at the same, Makey.
Oh, but this recording, like, it's not as easy as you all think, you know. And like, as I say, one day, I think, do you reckon one day it'll work? Or
will technology ever work? Or would 2 paper cups and a piece of string work better?
Yeah, and we'd just tether them all out to everyone who's listening now.
So, yeah, if you need to listen, we need to post you a cup in future. We're going to post out 5 pieces of string, and then when we go live, we just tie knots in either end of the cups and we'll start speaking into them, and they'll go out to
that's it.
All the people.
We'll get a little pigeon to carry them out.
So you say something, write a note and carry them out. Carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons. NPK drop-off pigeons, because Amazon have got drones, haven't they? We're getting pigeons. Because it's
animals.
It's environmentally friendly. Pigeons like flying around, things tied to them.
What's cup casting?
What's that? Cup casting?
Alistair said cup casting.
Yeah, that's good. Cups with the wire.
Cup casting. Okay. I'm still on the pigeons.
He's a slow one, this one.
You took a second to work it out as well.
When he was born, God he said, I've forgotten.
They broke the mould when they made me. Is that any better, Makey?
When he was asking for a brain, he thought he said trains and asked for a slow one. Sorry.
Yeah, you will be. I'll ring Sergio and fucking tell him that where you're staying's been cancelled.
No. Don't worry, I'll look after your bed.
I bet you will. Right, people, that's louder. That's louder. Good. We can crack on now.
Yeah, go on.
Back
So,
to the commandments.
number 4 of the 10 grow commandments is
Commandment number 4, air movement.
air movement. Moving air. Is it just moving air? Are we just going to move air? Is that the important part? Or is it air extraction, air movement, ventilation, intake, equation,
Environment in general, because air
controlling
movement
of
has
the
an effect.
environment, making it all harmoniously as one with the temperature and humidity, which is very, very hard to get all of these numbers to align in this special equilibrium.
The stars align to give you the best possible outcome.
So that's what we're saying, because it's not an easy task, is it?
No.
To get
And-
all of these things
Perfect.
perfect.
So, that's half the reason of today's podcast, is because you can't get everything perfect all the time. But if you're going to focus on getting as much perfect as you can, then it's these commandments. And the reason that
Well,
air
if you aim
movement
for
is
the
very
stars,
important, if you miss,
you
you'll
probably
be by
end up on the moon. So,
I like that shout. It's a good one.
you know, there we go.
Air extraction, so it has a direct impact on temperatures and humidity as well,
Yes.
and CO2,
Yes.
and just
Everything.
air movement's so crucial.
Everything.
Air movement is crucial. Are we going to try and put them in order at the end for people? I think air movement's probably going to be number 1, isn't it?
Is it though? Because they're all number 1, and they're all number 2, and they're all number 10.
They're all equally important.
Yeah, they are. They're all such the one subject as well. That's, I think, I don't know where to start now. Because it's just that.
I'll get you started. I'll touch your leg again.
Because
as
trying
well.
to put everything into 10 commandments is difficult.
It is.
Because as you can see, we're cheating them. We keep talking about all the little bits
Other
and
little
pieces.
bits within the category.
Because we're just trying to educate or trying to help you realise how complicated the equations can be, and what needs to be done to try and make them all align.
Okay, so let's try and delve into air movement then. Commandment number 4, air movement in meters cubed of air an hour, please. See, I don't like CFM. It's because I don't really understand it. I've never really had to. I always use meters cubed of air per hour. Now,
What's CFM?
it's another way of measuring air movement.
Okay.
Cubic feet a minute, I think. I don't use feet. The only time I use feet is to walk.
Same here. It is all confusion, and
Well, we like meters cubed of air now, don't we?
We do.
And the commandment number 4 is your air movement will be based on lights and room size, number of lights and your room size, not the flange size.
why not the flange size? Though? Why can't we just say 8-inch or 10-inch or 4-inch or?
Because, Thomas, there are multiple 8-inch and 10-inch and 12-inch fans. So if you go in and ask for a 10-inch fan and filter, hopefully your person serving you in your grow shop will look at you very confused and be like, come on, dude, were you born yesterday?
I know what you're saying, mate. But I'll just use the one I used last time.
Did it work for you last time?
Yeah.
And were you happy with the result?
Yeah.
And your temperatures were good?
I think so, yeah.
What was your maximum temperature?
30s or something. 28 something.
30s or
20s
28s or something. So if
It
you
was
had
just warm.
did you have a thermometer in the room?
Is that white thing?
Yeah. You bought one, but did you take it out the packaging?
Yeah, it was saying like 28s and 29s and 30s and that.
Okay. And
Some
what was the
days.
minimum temperature?
Like, it was like 12 and 8.
You're a dick, aren't you? Hey, that's what I'd think when I'm talking to this customer anyway. And what was your humidity in percentages in veg and then in flower?
What's that?
Okay, so Here we get to it. Listen to podcast 105. They tell you all about humidity and temperature rather than me have to.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I just got the fan. I just want the fan and filter that I got last time.
You can have that fan and filter, but would you not like to improve on your environment and get better temperatures?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you, mate. That's why I've come here to buy a fan and filter off you. You know.
So would you like 1,
Yeah, but what
2, 3, 4, 5? Which size would you like within the 10-inch flange size range?
I don't know what the one I used last time was sound.
I'm so glad you're not a customer, you know. Hey, you could be a right dick.
What we're trying to highlight is that we get this one quite often, and people don't understand what we're talking about is the ratio of how much air that you need to remove out the room, and why you would need to do that. So that's what we're trying to educate.
Get across.
Yeah.
So you can get with. I talk about the range of the brand of fans and filters that we use. We use CAN fans, Isomaxes, Qmaxes. So when I'm talking about the fans and filters, the 10-inch, you can get a 10-inch 1000. It can cope with 1,000 meters cubed of air an hour. You can get a 10-inch 1500. You can get a 10-inch 2000, a 10-inch 2500. I think you can even get a 10-inch 3000, if I'm not mistaken. So there's 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. There's 5 different fans and filters within the 10-inch range
category.
So 1 would be good enough to cope with 2 to 3 lights in a small room.
What I want to say to you, if you are the person who comes into those shops and says, "Can I have a 10-inch fan?" I want you to stop and pause and think, "Oh,
That's me.
that's me." I
Stop
haven't
doing it.
I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. I need to rewind that podcast because they're highlighting this subject right now. Or just say, "Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Can you tell me or help me on what size fan I would?"
Why is that such a hard thing for people to do? Ask for help.
Don't know.
Why do you have to come in thinking that you know it all? Because they come into shops and...
See, but we don't. When we go to our show, this show that we're going to, like, there's going to be loads of people that are sick at what they do. Really good, that means. And we're just going to go round and we're going to be asking them all sorts of stuff and learning off them.
Sponge time.
Yeah. It's time for us to learn something and then bring it back, and I can't wait to talk about it on podcast when we get back.
We're going to talk about, so podcast 106, what we learned.
Yeah, what we learned.
Yeah. That's podcast 106.
And that's what we'll do. We'll do some research and we'll learn loads of stuff.
Talk about maybe some new products.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I
like
want to
that.
learn some stuff. You know what I want to one of me things going to be? I want to learn something that I didn't know and it should have known.
Isn't that what okay, what you should have known, but you didn't know.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
'Cause that's that's pretty much the definition of learning. To know something that you didn't know.
like them holes in the earth, them caves.
Don't start all that shit up again.
But yeah, I want to go and see if somebody can teach me something that I should have definitely known. So I can come on here and go, "Oh my God, I am."
Change your boxes more than once a week.
What? Why?
It's just gross. It's gross.
No, but you do the change.
What you do, wear twice, turn them inside out, wear twice. By the time that's happened, the outside layer has fell off. You wear them for another 2.
You don't do that.
That's scatty. And now everybody else knows what you're up to. And why on a Friday everyone avoids you.
Well, you know.
Okay, air movement, crucially important. And
air movement.
We're going to have Peter on, aren't we, to talk about air movement soon.
Yeah, we get
this year.
Yeah.
Air
we will
movement
get
and
a technical air movement expert into the studio.
Specialist.
Okay. Commandment number 5. What would that be?
Commandment number 5. Lights will be at the appropriate heights for the plant and the appropriate light will be used.
So basically light.
Yeah, give it light because light is food. Nutrients and fertilizer are not food.
And the adequate light for the
type of plant and the stage of growth that your plant is at.
Light cycle,
quantity of lights as well. What's your recommendation for quantity of lights?
Oh, now you're asking me a tough one. Quantity of lights.
Stop ringing. Adam feels sick. Sorry, I did that on podcast 98 or something.
Whose granddaughter, was it, who drew me my picture?
It was Adam. That's the halftime shot. I was
Oh,
going to do
is
the
it?
halftime
Okay,
shot.
sorry.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Adam,
When is it half-time? At 5, number 5.
after this one,
After this one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. That's good.
stop swinging. Okay, I'm going to... If I put my left arm and start swinging, you can punch me in my right arm. Okay?
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah, make sure you cue me.
No
if I miss it.
grassing me up
Yeah,
either.
make sure you cue me if I miss.
Well, let's just turn the comments this way.
So,
Podcast 5? No, that was a while ago.
commandment number 5.
Commandment number 5. Lights will be at the appropriate height. Okay, so what I mean by
But
that...
that's that's not just the commandment. Light will be at the appropriate height.
This
Commandment
is
is
light.
light. Yeah.
Use
So
light correctly.
Whether it be outdoor light, indoor light, blue light, red light, LED light,
Vita light.
yeah,
Ooh, Vita
whatever
light.
type of light it may be, it requires a whole set of subcategories. Photo period, light cycle for the plant required, intensity, distance, amount
talk
of
about-
light. So you hit me with the question before,
Yeah.
how many lights are appropriate? How long's a piece of string?
Okay. The string is
well, strings.
2.4 by 1.2 meters.
No, because a piece of string. How long's a piece of string? That's easy. It's
However long it comes on the
no,
reel.
it's twice the size of half its length. That's how long a piece of string is.
That's very true.
It's true. Trust me, that shit's true. That's real shit. You did there.
Twice as long as half its length.
Yeah,
That's a nice measurement.
accurate, spot on. To be honest with you,
It is.
check it.
I will. I'm going to go and measure half its length in a
Yeah,
minute
yeah.
and then double it.
Yeah, well there you go. Guarantee, it'll be spot on. So, the variables upon lighting. We've done some in-depth lighting talks,
We have with Theo from Gavita.
which we're not going to go into right now because we're just giving you the 10 commandments.
Yeah. So if, let's, an example, 2.4 by 1.2 tent, what range of amount of lights would you put in there?
The amount of light that I could adequately control.
Okay. Okay. So it changes from season to season?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So I just put 2 lights in all the way through.
No.
In the summer, in
No.
the winter, in the
No,
spring.
because you'd have indoor growing, you'd have an outside temperature in the winter, which will be colder, so it allows more lights. You maybe have to put 3 lights in. But sometimes in the summer, it might become really, really, really hot,
Yeah.
and extraction may become a difficult problem, so you might have to reduce that to 1 light.
Okay.
So, you know, being a good grower, you'd have to ascertain and check and see what's right at that stage.
Be the weatherman.
Yeah, being the weatherman, being Columbo in the grow room.
Plant whisperer.
Yeah. So that's light.
The size, I think a good one for people's commandments in lighting should be appropriate distance from the light. So very quickly, 250 watts, 30 centimetres, 400 watts, 40 centimetres, 600 watts, 60 centimetres. And if you're sporting the 1,000 watt... If you're sporting the 1,000 watt single-ended or double-ended, you'll be approximately 90 centimetres to a metre away from the top of your plants. And they are good distances, so you don't burn too much and you get the right type of light intensity for your plants. Anything else on there? Appropriate light used. Soft, lovely, warm lights when they're young. T5s, CFLs, maybe LEDs.
A common thing I want to point out with light is people get light periods wrong, or timers malfunction, or set incorrectly, or just shit goes wrong with the timer to affect the light. Or yeah, that was it. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry. Indoor grow room. The light's being controlled off a contact timer. Everything's fine. However, numpty, silly divvy has left the bulb on the ceiling.
This is such a good
So
top
the
tip.
plants are stressed out and start doing all different sorts of things, and life becomes very sad for the plant. So light is so important. It's so important. Obviously, you need light to grow a plant, but its cycle determines how the plant's going to respond. So make sure you check your photo periods at the correct time for the plants that you're using. Your lights are the right intensity for the age of the plant. So you don't want to be using 1,000 watt HPS on a 1 week old seedling,
Yeah.
2 inches away from it, it's going to spawn not what catastrophe. So light, one of the commandments. Boom.
And all aspects of it.
Yes.
That's a super top tip. That, you know, go in, turn your lights on. When your lights are already on in the room, do what you need to do, and then you leave, walk out. Lights go off. Boom. Room lights still on. And you wonder why your plants are still in the veg cycle 6 weeks into flower.
Even worse, they've been in the flowering period for a long time, and then you started doing this, and then he starts spouting into nodes from the top of the...
Stretching.
It's not a happy time.
Catastrophe is a good word for that as well.
Yeah.
So commandment number 5 was lights. Light height, the appropriate light, and being in tune with your lighting.
Did you want to do a half time?
Half tea time break. You're on for the tea and coffees, aren't you?
You're making them.
Later.
Later.
So, last week, just before we finished, you got sent a message, and it was from Adam Chapman and his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And because Thomas said...
Was his granddaughter or his daughter?
His granddaughter.
Was it? Okay.
And you said, didn't you?
What was her name?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let me get my phone up.
Come on then.
Let me get... Actually...
He's never prepared, Stephen. We know this, Adam. So as you can see, once again, I'm fully prepared.
You're fully prepared by having me in the room to prepare you.
Hence...
being prepared.
Yes.
I'm going to check my other phone because that one's
The wrong
to the
phone.
screen.
See? He's got
Why
that.
don't you entertain them while...
I'm very entertaining. I'm entertaining myself just watching you with these phones. When you got that phone, you got this new Google phone. This amazing phone. Brand spanking new. You can pull it out of his pocket to show me and dropped it on the floor.
Hence the case.
Oh, I have to tell him that, sorry. It's okay, it survived.
Just.
Steve's face hit the floor. I thought a beard
Just
was
like
going
me
to fall
phone.
off. So,
Adam and his granddaughter and his lovely partner, they found out that you like pictures because you don't like to read.
I'm not a big fan. That's what we were talking about at the time. It was the podcast on organics and synthetics, really. And I was showing everybody the lovely pictures of the plants on the kind of information leaflets on pest and disease and deficiencies, nutrient deficiencies. And one of the key factors I was pointing out is I'm not a big fan of the reading. I can read, I'm very capable, but I don't enjoy it as much, not as much as Steve does. He loves a right riveting read. But I don't, and I like picture. I like information with pictures. So like I love a diagram and a little bit of an explanation, and that's how I educate myself for my simple mind. And we got sent a lovely picture to educate me on how to grow a vegetable garden.
Quite correct.
From one of my fellow growers.
Yes. She drew a lovely picture of the vegetable patch that she...
Her name is... Have you still not worked this phone out?
Still not worked this phone out.
Oh my God.
There's just...
We do apologise for the technical difficulties that we are suffering at the moment.
Adam's not being much help. He's just...
Yeah, Adam's just letting us fry right now.
Yeah, he's not even throwing us a bone here.
No.
He's just saying, you are nature. Nice one, Adam.
Thank you.
Where's this picture? It was a lovely picture. Now, I am going to show you all because it was beautifully drawn, the vegetable patch.
Let's see it then. We're all waiting. Everybody on podcast can't see it, and they're still waiting. They're dying to see it, and they can't even see it.
Tear it in you. There's that many messages since last week.
The picture's that good. I'm actually going to put it... We are going to post it.
We will post it.
On our webpage also. We're going to stick it up on our public feed.
Yes.
So everybody can see it.
Oh, please, phone. Stop being a dick.
Anyway, Steve's crap. Sorry.
I'll post it up later.
What we could do is... she could probably teach you how to use your phone as well.
Probably could, yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Have you seen these kids with these phones? They're amazing.
That was me nodding.
Give up. Just give up.
I know, but now you've asked me to do something. It's going to really annoy me that I can't find it. Adam, help me out here, please, bud. Send that picture again, because it was beautiful, and just for you as well.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
We will get a picture of it up soon. Adam, hopefully, is rummaging around desperately to try and find it on his phone to send it again. Any other news?
What other news?
Half-time break.
Half-time break. Time out.
Well, you jet off to Barcelona.
Yeah.
In Spannabis.
Can't wait tomorrow. Flight, 12:15. Boom. Off we go.
If you are also going to Barcelona, get in touch with us. Send us a message and
Come
meet
and
up
see
with
us.
us.
Yeah, come and do an interview with
Come and
us.
say hello.
Doesn't matter whether you're a grower, you're a supplier, listener. If you're one of the me stalkers, I'm not going to be in Barcelona this weekend.
Yes, he is. And he's going to be at apartment 52, Dos Reinos Street,
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
And he's using the pseudonym... I don't know what a pseudonym.
Blackie Sloan.
Is that your pseudonym? Is that
Yeah.
what you've checked in as?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's apparently your porn name. Are we allowed to say anything like that?
It's not that type of show.
No.
I know it's a growing show.
But you know how you
but-
get that name, though? It's your first pet.
Yeah. And your mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
What would mine be? Tess Coin.
Anyway, shall we just get back to it?
Yeah. Friggin' phones.
So the 10 Grow Commandments. Commandment number 6.
is plant-led feeding, not feed chart-led. So this is what you were about to talk about when you got
watering.
into watering. Yes.
And it was also to do with nutrients. So this involves the nutrient part as well.
Mm-hmm.
To plant-led feeding and basically paying attention to the plant, giving it the right amount of water when it needs it, not because you need to be somewhere at a certain time and it just so happens to be convenient for yourself. You need to give it the right amount of water, the right amount of nutrient for the right stage, which then ties into EC and pH.
Talk to him about EC. I've just had a mini brainwave.
Oh, you're having a brainwave. EC, electrical conductivity. People, once again, if people don't know what we're talking about, we've done 105 podcasts and I've probably mentioned it at least on 50 of them. It's measuring how much salt's within the water which your nutrient provides. This has different required levels throughout the plant's life cycle and stages, veg period to flower period, beginning at 0.2 EC to maxing out, topping out in week 5 at maybe 2.2 max. Mm-hmm. Depending on various plants. And
some plants like to eat more, some plants like to eat less.
Yeah,
when
tomato
it's hot,
plants, 3.5 on EC will absolutely drain your nutrients. Nail it.
And you might have also noticed that these are linked as well. All of these commandments are linked because the higher the temperature, the hotter the room, the less you want to feed your plants because they want to drink more, like you do when you're on a hot holiday. You drink more than you eat.
Nice ice cream, cool you down.
And when it's cold, in a British winter, we like to have hot broths and
Canada Goose
cups
on.
of coffee. Canada Goose is on.
Woolly
And we
hat.
like to eat a lot more.
Yeah.
Keep us warm, get our energy up. Same with plants. When it's hot, feed them less fertilizers, less feed, and when it is cold, give them slightly more. The reason being is because they drink less when it's cold, so you need to give them a bit more fertilizer. And when it's hot, they like to drink a lot more, so you have to slow down on the fertilizer, so as not to burn them.
Yeah.
Plant-led feeding, yeah. Use the feed chart as a guide, but don't.
See,
go
but I'd
too
actually
in-depth
say
on
this
them.
commandment's name was nutrient because we've had water, and this one's nutrient.
Yeah, correct.
But then they're also interlinked and wound together.
They're all interlinked and
Yeah,
wound together, aren't
it's
they?
very hard to
Separate.
As you'll notice, when we keep talking, we keep having to refer back to another one. So it then you ask the question, well, why is that? Obviously, because they're that much linked. You need to, while you're messing with this one, you need to be messing with that one. And well, oh shit, this one here, and then that
So my air extraction affects my temperature affects my humidity. The humidity and the temperatures affects how much I should water them. How much I should water them affects how much I should feed them. The thigh bone's connected to the leg bone, the leg bone's connected to the
head bone.
Yeah, in between the spine and the ribs and all that sort of stuff. You missed off like a whole body part there. Biology, not your strongest subject. We do cater for your needs.
The knee bones connected to the shin bone, to the foot bone.
What would you say? The
Toe
foot bone? It sounded like you said something else.
So,
I have a picture. My brainwave paid off.
Yes,
And the
let's
granddaughter's
have-
name is Shanti. So, Shanti, thank you very much
for
the
your
picture.
picture.
And let me...
You're going to have to get it right up in the screen because
go
I swear
slowly.
that camera's crap.
So let's just...
Let's have a
hold
look.
it here
Let's
sec.
have a look.
And Anita as well. Thank you very much. So there's the picture, zoom in a bit more.
Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Oh, yes, yes.
Perfect.
There's the guy. Wait, is that me there? Look, there's me. Look, there is... No, it's not me. I thought that was me. So, as you can see, very good, nice piece of artwork.
Look at that big tree and the farmer's gate.
Yeah. And the butterflies. And if you can see, if you look on the tree, yeah, there's actually a beehive there.
Ah, nice spot.
Well done. Very good. Obviously aware of our love for bees.
I can spot some carrots. There was some carrots on there as well.
Was there? So, excellent bit of drawing there. Thank you very much for that.
Can I read out the message?
Yes.
It says, to Thomas, my grandparents have told me you like a picture. What is going to work size? I've got a bit smudged there. So I made a vegetable picture for you from Shanti. And that was it. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Actually, meant a lot, that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Thank
so we
you.
love it. We love that stuff.
Any other pictures, get them sent in to
Get
us.
them in.
Show Thomas how to grow all different types of vegetables on the vegetable packages. We want to see more pictures.
Yeah.
Adam's running behind a little bit, he said. He's had to pause it.
Right, okay. And that phone, Steve, you're going to have to go and get it.
And you're going to have to talk about commandment number 7.
Which is?
Time. Spend
Time.
time with your plants.
Time. Hurry up. You haven't got enough time right now to answer that phone. So, commandment number 7, which I decided was going to be time with your plants, because often or not, the reason why people don't know what's going on with the grow room and going on with the plants is because they don't spend enough time there. You find yourself being just a slave just to go in and do this chore because you probably lost your way a little bit sometimes, or you might not know enough of what you need to know. So when things are a bit hard, you get a little bit lost on your way. So spending time with your plants, looking at your plants, looking at your media, looking at how well the plants are drinking, looking at your grow room, looking at the level of light between the plant and the light, the spaces between plants, all aspects, because every single part of that is going to give you more and more information on how well your plant's doing. And without spending any time in the grow room, it's going to make it really, really difficult to understand what's been going on. So, for instance, you don't look at your plants intensely, you just look at the overall room. When you walk in, plants need water. You know that they're going to be dry because you haven't been there for maybe a day or so, or 2 days. You haven't been in the allotments or whatever. You've been busy, you've been in work. So you think, okay, I've got to go down, I've got to water the plants, fill the butts up. I'm going to get the hose pipes and fill the butts up, then I'm going to fill the plants up. That's them done. Then I've got to go and do that bed, do that one, get rid of a bit of waste or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Fine. And you continue doing that for a couple of weeks. And then one day you come in and you notice that the plant is swarmed from head to toe with spider mites. And you're thinking, oh my God, they've just come overnight. Last night, somebody just dumped all of these spider mites in. Nah, didn't happen like that, you know.
Were these ones not invited?
No, I'm just talking about time within the grow room, and I was talking about the consequences of not spending enough time within your grow room. And I was trying to explain and give sort of like what's he talking about? So I've got to sit there every minute of every day. No, I'm not talking about that. Also, the time that you go, spend it properly, actually doing what I'm telling you to do. So, I was talking, for instance, you may be a person who goes down to the allotments a couple of times a week or whatever, and you know what your number one chore is. What's your number one chore going to be?
When the first thing that you do when you get to your allotment,
Yeah.
you go make sure all your plants have had enough water and that they're not
So
dried
they're
out.
going to want watering, but you know
Yeah.
they're going to want the watering
Yeah.
because you haven't been there for a day or two or whatever.
But you check on them to make sure that there's no problems with
Yeah,
them.
but some people, they go around the regime. Let's fill up the water butts. And let's get the pipe in, because I know that tray needs watering, this needs watering, that they need that feed, and this needs that feed. So, boom, boom, boom. It's going to take me an hour and a half to get all them done, and you get them all done, and they're all watered fine, and then you leave, and you repeat.
You leave?
You leave.
Okay.
You leave. Now you leave.
Okay.
And then you repeat that cycle for a couple of weeks, but then one day you come back, and all of a sudden, every plant's got spider mites, when in fact it never. There was probably one plant that had it, and then it spawned to the next plant. And because you haven't been paying attention and spending
enough
time looking at your plant, all of a sudden this problem has grown out of control.
It's just become a lot harder problem to solve as well.
And that's that common. And also people, the time is very valuable in all aspects. So if you've got a problem, every bit of time that ticks by and it's untreated is hindering you.
Isn't time the most valuable commodity that we possess? Because you can't ever get it back.
So, to be honest, that's why I picked that. Now,
I'd say that there's actually, you could probably draw a graph with 0 time being spent on the bottom, time on health and wealth of your plants, and the amount of time you spend with them. I reckon it's a diagonal line going straight up. So if you start with no time with your plants, yeah, health and wealth is going to be 0. And as you spend more time, the health and wealth of your plants increases. And just keep going, going, going until it finally peaks out. Don't spend too much time with them.
No, but the time that you do spend, pay attention.
Yeah. It's a good point. Spend time with your plants.
Yeah.
Commandment number 7 was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Commandment number 8. Learning. Learn about your plant.
Well, learning, I was going to put learning in with education.
Education.
Education's what you need. I know it's dedication, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to be a record breaker.
Look at you touching my legs now.
It's just because we're spinning out of control.
I'm spinning around.
Anyway, back from Top of the Pops. From the 90s.
I love a bit of Carly.
Yeah.
She wants you to learn.
I forgot what number 8. What did you say? Number
Learning.
learning and education. So it's vital, because if you don't bother to learn about your plant and educate yourself about your plant, I don't know where we're going to go with it, because it's vital. It's like anything that you want to do and want to be good at. You know when you went to pass your driving test, you didn't think, right, I'm going to drive dead shit here, so I fail, do you? You don't think I'm going to go crash into every car, because that's not what you do, is it?
Well,
You know,
it's not what I do.
You learn to be good at something. You learn to be the best, and obviously the people who are listening to these podcasts, you're either mental in Broad Oak. Big shout out to everyone in Broad Oak.
Yeah, that's where our biggest ones
Or you're really addicted to growing, you're really passionate about growing, and you love the truth, and you just like hearing it roar, and that's what we give it to you as.
But
and
like, when you pass your driving
passionate.
test,
So you, hold on, wait, you won't do those. So you are passionate, and you do want to learn, and you do educate yourself, and when we do this, we learn, because look at the comments, there's stuff, you ask us stuff all the time, and I don't always know the answers, and you don't always know the answers, but as a community,
we'll get them answered.
You will get them answered, and we'll find new things out. And there's been loads of products on here that I don't know the names of, and we've been researching them, and it's great, and that's what we want.
Which we wouldn't have done if people hadn't commented
and wouldn't have told us. So,
spread the love.
Yeah, we're learning constantly while we're doing this podcast, believe me.
What I was going to say, to carry on your driving analogy, is when you passed your test, did you stop learning how to drive, or did you further your driving education?
I was forced a bit to further the driving education because I got banned. So I've done it again.
Forced to go to another room.
But that was because, you know, there was rules and I didn't abide by them, and I had to learn how to drive accordingly. I was a young driver. I was razzing round the streets.
Razzing round, eh?
Razzing.
Was this a Saturday night?
Razzing
You're
round
on the razz.
streets and, you know, speeding about and maybe on the mobile phone and whatever, before cars had fully integrated car kits.
Before mobile phones and driving were illegal.
Mm.
That was many years ago.
Before what?
Mobile phones and driving. There was a time when they didn't used to be illegal.
Didn't he?
No, years ago. It's mental, isn't it?
Mad.
Everyone could just drive around, talking to the mate, plotting round, razzing round, as you say.
Yeah, razzing round. So
we've stretched off. We've gone into driving techniques now. That's our other podcast. We'll start next week.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I did continue to learn how to drive, and I still do continue to learn.
So always continue to learn, and to go into a little bit more depth, learn about your specific plant, because obviously every plant is different.
Yeah.
And if you treat them the same, then they're not going to thank you for it.
Learn about all of the topics that we've talked about. So if there was something that you think, shit, what's he talking about? Rewind it. Or go to the relevant podcast, go through the list, download us on NPK something.
Google NPK Live.
Just Google NPK and you'll
we
find
don't need to
us.
tell anyone not to listen to this because they're already listening. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Share.
Yeah,
share this podcast and spread the love.
Share the podcast so people can learn.
Not share the singer.
So if you know someone who thinks they can benefit from us talking about this stuff.
Did you like share? Bit of sharing Kylie Minogue on this one.
But yeah, education as well. Education about your grow room. Education about your environment. Education about your temperature, humidity. Everything about all of the subcategories that we talked about.
And that's commandment number 8.
Yeah.
Go and learn some more
stuff.
Go
and learn some more. And then teach us. Learn something in depth and become an expert. And then come on the show and teach me about it. Please do.
I would like that. Commandment number 9. Do you know as I'm thinking of these, saying these commandments, every time I say one, that little boo-doo-doo, from the track?
No.
The 10 Commandments.
I know the 10 Commandments.
And then it goes, commandment number 2, boo-doo-doo.
No, I don't know that bit.
Well, maybe I'm not singing very well, but you do know it. Well, anyway, that's what's going on in my ears.
Well, anyway.
Commandment number 8. This is your big
Commandment number 8 or number 9?
Fuck off. Commandment number 9.
Yeah.
Appropriate pot size for your plant's life cycle.
So, commandment number 9, pots.
Lots of them.
Pots. Complicated. Because, as Steve said then, which was?
Pots.
And what did you say afterwards?
Use the appropriate pot size for your plant's life cycle.
It's something that we've highlighted, and it also runs into water category as well.
Because they're all interlinked.
Yes. So if you've got the wrong pot size, because there is such a thing as the wrong pot size, because you're just drowning your plants out with too much media, too much too soon.
And roots grow down as well. Grow outwards.
Pots have life cycles and lifespans for determining how big the root mass can be within it, determining how many weeks the plant's been grown for. It's important because I've seen people who have finished a full grow period, maybe 12, 16 weeks in maybe a 5-litre pot, and the plant was a really, really big plant, and it just suffered to become nutrient deficient. The leaves were whispering, crispy at the side, and so on and so forth. And the plant was there was plants at the end. However, the life that the plant went through was just absolutely abysmal and torture, because they weren't using the correct pot size. There's also different types of pots, but more what I'm homing in on is the size of the pot for the size of the plant, in a nutshell. to be honest.
That's all.
Because I could just keep going on and on in different...
Going into potting up and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, pots and pot size with plant size.
For the life cycle. Bigger
Yes.
pots for bigger plants.
Yeah.
Commandment number 10. Regime.
Before we finish the 10 grow commandments with regime, because we've sat here and we thought about this one, and hopefully a lot of other people might think, well, you haven't talked about this and you haven't talked about that. And to be honest, we probably did talk about it, but we did really struggle to decide what the 10 our 10 commandments are anyway.
NPK's 10 commandments.
So we finished up with regime, and regime to us, well, to me, is doing everything in a nice and good and perfect and harmonious way for your plant and yourself. So, for instance, maybe the layout of the grow room needs to be in good order. The way the plants are laid out, in accordance to size and spacing and extraction and so on and so forth. Tidiness.
Schedule.
Yeah. Schedule.
Do you say schedule? I say schedule, you say schedule.
Schedule.
Is that like an allotment term? Your schedule?
It's just regime terms when you're a proper certified grower like me. So, you schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm putting you off. You did it to me last week.
Should be set up and in place so that you're fully aware of what's going on, rather than going into a grow room that's an absolute mess. You know what I can't stand is just mess on the floor in a grow room, just hard
wires on the floor,
bacteria, wires on lights pulled across the room, extension cords lying on the floor. You can't move. It's like going through Mission Impossible, them laser beams trying to get through. Oh my God, what are you doing to yourself and your plants? Regime, tidiness, grow room cleanliness.
Do you say dead leaves on the floor?
Dead anything. Dead socks that have been there for 12 years. All sorts of crap that shouldn't be harboured within the grow room. Also a nice shelf with all of your bits and bobs, your grow room tools and essentials just there to hand.
And keep everything in order, nice and neat.
Accurate regime on checking plants' welfare and health, watering and nutrients, adequately done at correct times, without fail, without missing watering or without overwatering. Regime your shit up. Get your shit together. You know,
have a plan.
Stop being a slob. That's it.
A slob.
Yeah. I've seen some slobby grow people. And I don't mean that by
appearance.
No, I mean your grow rooms. I'm not bothered what you look like. I don't even look at you. So I'm just looking at your grow room. I was going to say?
Slobbiness.
I view a person on their grow room.
Listen, you say to me,
you don't
like
even want to see
your leg.
Steve. Oh, you want to see him on the allotments? He just gets spades and just throws them. He thinks he's on a Carlsberg outfit, where they all just land into the tub. And then the chair's going to slide out underneath him. No, Steve, we have to put them all away. So, regime.
Keep it regimental.
Yeah, get it together. But don't regime your plant to what you think, oh, okay, I'm a calendar grower now. So don't get it confused as well. Remember what we say about calendar growers. Get your calendar, and you can throw that in the bin.
Yeah.
Regime is tending to your plants. So when Adolf Plant goes, right, I want water now, you will jump 10 feet high and you will run to the plant and you will water it. That's what type of regime I'm talking about.
Okay.
No, I don't actually like Adolf, because he was.
I was going to say, no. Adolf Plant.
But yeah, what I was trying to say is he had a very strict regime, and they all adhered and done what he commanded when he wanted it. So I'm trying to put that into a context of the plant, whenever this plant wants what it wants, whether it wants the light moving up away from it because you're burning it, or it wants water putting in it because it's thirsty, or it needs some tender love and care because it becomes nutrient deficient or whatever, it gets it immediately.
Yeah.
That comes into your regime of plant.
I'll give you an example. Like you in work, you come in, you want the whole place hoovered. I told you, we hoovered up last week. You don't need to tell us every day. We do it on a Saturday and that's it. The shelves need stocking as well. Listen, there's one of each bottle on the shelf. That's good enough.
No.
The shelves are a little bit dusty. Well, dust happens.
It might be good enough in the job centre, but it's not good enough at NPK, is it? Never.
So, 10 grow commandments. I've also got Instagram Live going here, in case you're wondering what I'm doing with me arm.
I was wondering what you was doing with you.
Yes, everyone on Instagram. Yes, the boys. Dank said, when you flying out to Spanibus, we are going.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Boss man will be there tomorrow, and the rest of the team will be there on Friday. You make sure you come and see us, come and say hello, come and have a beer, come and have a smoke, and let's lit shit up.
Yeah.
So, let's compile the commandments. Number 1, temperature. Keep your temperatures in check. Number 2, humidity. Monitor your veg humidity, monitor your flower and humidity. Watering. Make sure that your watering is plant focused and not grower, pot or media led. Get on top of your air movement on meters cubed of air an hour, not on flange size. Lights at the appropriate height, appropriate for the lights, for the type of plants that you're growing, and photo period cycle as well. Plant led feeding, not feed chart led. So keep an eye on EC and nutrients, yeah. Time, spend time with your plants. The more time you spend with your plants, the better they will be. Appropriate pot size for the life cycle of the plant. Learn about your plant, the type of plant, and just do some learning as well, because it's always good. Like all you people are doing right now, learning. And last one was regime. Have a regime. Be in the grow room. Keep it tidy.
Stick to it.
And keep everything nice and tidy and clean. And your grow room will thank you for it. Your pests will not be there.
So that's it.
That's it. The 10 grow commandments.
Our 10 grow commandments.
And that's that. All right, going on Instagram Live, actually. Got a few people watching.
So, to finalise.
That's it. Put these grow commandments or any, because listen, I want to give some love as well to another shop down south, Pro Grow Hydroponics. If any of your customers are listening, big shout out to you, and thank you very much for telling your customers about the show as well. Much love, much
big shout out, boys. Keep smashing it in your area. Well done, is right. Nice one. Big shout out to you, boys. Keeping it real down in your area. Where are they?
I'm going to get this wrong and get told off like I always do. I think it's Plymouth, Pro Grow, but it's down south. Down south west, I think. And that's it, yeah.
So big shout out to you boys, is right.
So everyone watching NPK
Live. Are you going to Barcelona?
I don't know.
Don't know. If you're going to Barcelona, come and check us out and come and say hello.
NPK Live people, if you are going to Barcelona to Spanibus, message us, meet up.
If anyone's going to Barcelona, Spanibus, come and see us. Come and say hello.
Listen, there's loads of people
come
on
and
Instagram.
Throw eggs at me if you want.
There's loads of people on Instagram going to Spanibus. Make sure you message us. Send us a little message. I'll have my phone on me the whole time. Send a message what stand you're at. We'll meet up and see what wares you have for us, and we'll show you some of our goodies as well, won't we?
Yeah.
And for everybody, of course, all you lovely people listening on a Sunday on iTunes or other podcast social media, thank you once again for spending time with us.
Big thank you to all of our listeners all everywhere.
We are 200 subscribers short of 50,000 subscribers, so tell your friends. Let's get to 50,000. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I'm happy too. That's
Enjoy
podcast 105, the 10 Grow Commandments with myself, Thomas.
Did you struggle there a little second?
I think I was getting stuck.
Who am I?
Who am I?
And I've been Stephen. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track. Not your wig pushed back. Rule number uno. Never let no one know how much dough you hold. Cause you know that try to breed jealousy, especially if that man fucked up. Get your ass stuck up. Number 2.